Hey guys, I'm Amaroth, and in this video tutorial I would like to address quite a commonly asked question, and that's this. If you've got some sort of model which is visible in game but isn't visible in Noggit, as it is here, we got this smoke here, we can see it in game, it's okay, but we can't really see it in Noggit. So if you get some model which is invisible in Noggit, what do you do? How do you delete that thing? How do you move it or scale it or whatever else? Well, there's quite a simple way actually, and I would like to show it to you in this video tutorial. So as you can see, those smokes aren't really game objects. There aren't any game objects on this map at all. So these are really models spawned on ADT. So we need to use Noggit in order to delete them or move them or whatever else. But there is a problem with this smoke, and that is that this smoke doesn't have actually geometry. It is only invisible model with one particle emitter, and that particle emitter is producing those particles. Now the problem is that Noggit can't render particles. It doesn't do that. Particles are just invisible in Noggit, or they aren't there at all, which means that Noggit has nothing to show to us, and those models are just invisible to us. So how do you do that now? There's quite a simple way actually. So I will close game for now. And the first step is finding out what is the name of that model. You need to find out what is that model. So in my case, I already know name of that model. It's house smoke. So it's this model here, this particle emitter. But if you don't know name of your model you want to get rid of, you will need to open that ADT in, for example, 010 editor, and press Ctrl F and find .mtu, or you can use HXD editor or whatever else. You just need to find where are paths to modules which are used on that ADT. Now there would be dozens or perhaps even hundreds of modules, so this is quite a tedious task. But you need to find modules which seem to be the one you are looking for. And basically you need to just find name of that model. So you can open it in model viewer. As you can see, I already know that model. It is this one. So this house smoke M2 is a model I want to edit in Noggit or use in Noggit. And now how do I do that? Well, the first step, or the second step actually, after finding out what is this model, we will go to File menu and go to Export Textures. You want to preserve path and you want to export all. So now in Model Viewer's export folder, there are all files which are used by this model, by this particle emitter. I will just refer to it as a particle emitter because that's what this is. So we've got particle emitter house smoke, and we want to make it visible in Noggit. So how do we do that? Well, we need another model which we will use as basically a placeholder. You can create your own, for example, some cube with smoke here written on it or something else if you want to really bother that much with it. So you can just make custom model or whatever else. Or you can just use any model at your disposal which is just in World of Warcraft already. So in my case, I will use, for example, this tree stump here. It is just some random model which will definitely be visible in Noggit. I will yet again export files of this model. I need to find it. It's here, import Lordaeron. Okay. So now I've got M2 and skin file of that model which will be visible in Noggit. I will move it, and I will move it to folder or to directory where my particle emitter is. So here I've got my visible model, and here I've got my invisible model I want to edit. So I will just copy its name and delete it, and to rename this model to particle emitter. Remember, skin file always has to have name of model and then 00 at its end, or 01, 02, 03 if there are multiple skin files. But in this case, there is only one skin file, so there is just 00 on one skin file. So now I have basically taken that smoke model, that particle emitter, and I have changed it so it looks like this tree stump, but it is still the same model. So now I will just go ahead into my tutorial, into my project tutorial folder, and here I've got my data folder, and these are files which are used by my Noggit. And I will just go ahead and I need to close Noggit first. And I will just go ahead and place this edit here. So now I have saved this change in my Noggits folder, and now I can go to my Noggit, go to my map, my test ADT in this case, and as you can see, there are those three stumps. So I've got these three stumps. I can select them, I can see them, I can move them around, I can scale them up or down, I can delete them, I can do whatever I want with them. But those are still those particle emitters. That's still the particle emitter house smoke M2. So I can do whatever I want here. For example, I will delete all of them and I will just keep one really big one here. I can now save my changes. And because I haven't changed that smoke to that tree stump in my game client, only in my Noggit data, I will just see smoke here, smoke in game. So now I will just save my changes in my game clients and PQ. And now I can test my changes. So as you can see, smokes are really gone, and there is only one really big one here. It isn't very clear or visible, but here is one huge smoke model, and all others are gone. So this is the way how to move around, edit, delete, or whatever else models which are invisible in Noggit by just changing them into some model which is visible, but by keeping an actual model path. So that's it, guys. I hope this was useful. I have already done this simple video just because it is very frequently asked question. And thanks for watching, and as always, happy modding.